What's going on, family? We are back, joined with our friends on stream tonight for Patreon Appreciation Night, and we definitely want to be thankful for our good friend Cherokee, the Peekaboo one herself, for getting us onto another cover from the, what do they call it? The Dirty Kennels, right? Dirty Kennels? Yes. Dirty Kennels, no duh. And this time they are covering, and in their words, you've never heard Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay like this before. And I do remember that I believe the first time that we did a reaction for this group and this band, I think that was, they said to put in the comments which one they should do next, and I'm pretty sure that Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay was one that I had suggested. So, not to say that they're doing it because I suggested it, but because they said they had replied back with, a lot of people have said that one too. So, I think this is a small part of the world. You know, there's a small little hand that the Foxtrot family put in this. So, shout out to Cherokee. It probably really was her, honestly, the first place this even happened. So, shout out to her. Peekaboo one more time for getting us this request today. Let's check out this Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay cover.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, yeah, watching the ships roll in, and then watch them roll away again. Oh, so I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I left my home in Georgia, heading for the Frisco Bay. I've had nothing to live for, looks like nothing's gonna come my way. Oh, so I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Looks like nothing's gonna change. Everything still remains the same. Yeah, I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I'll remain the same. Yeah, sitting here resting my bones, and this loneliness won't leave me alone. 2,000 miles I've roamed just to make this dock my home. I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time.
Oh, nah. What are you doing to me, man? Sounds like Lil Jon and Robin Hood, you know what I'm saying? I love it.
Love proof. And all human beings have a purpose, well versed in the struggles and successes our existence is riddled with. Selected naturally, we adapt, we evolve, we paint history with life precious. Personally perceived thoughts isolated from our life we may not agree with, we may not believe in, yet we must accept happiness, sadness, weakness, and strength. Life's gifts, war, famine, and death. Consequences forgiven by some, last sentences written by all, proving we are not invincible, we are not invisible. We are a collection of choices and various endings. People we leave behind will never forget, even after death, even after death. Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide.
Okay. I think I might have to let him cook on that again. For a second. This little recorder part or whatever the hell that is so fire.
Love, proof, that all human beings have a purpose, well versed in the struggles and successes our existence is riddled with. Selected naturally, we adapt, we evolve, we paint history with life precious. Personally perceived thoughts isolated from our life we may not agree with, we may not believe in, yet we must accept happiness, sadness, weakness, and strength. Life's gifts, war, famine, and death. Consequences forgiven by some, last sentences written by all, proving we are not invincible, we are not invisible. We are a collection of choices and various endings. People we leave behind will never forget, even after death, even after death. Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. How's it, boys?
I like it. That's
For
good.
Emery.
For Emery.
Yes. Creative direction. Instructions.
Okay. Hold on. Oh no, my computer's messing up. Let's see. He don't have his little spot in there. He should have thrown his little like verse that he had up in there. He should have threw the lyrics up in there. I feel like he was saying a lot, but I feel like I might have missed some of it. But some of it definitely triggered some of the thoughts in my brain. That's for sure. Well, I guess the first thing that I think of when I listened to this was the fact that I was like, I feel like they do, when they say like you've never heard it like this before, I feel like it's obviously it's a bold statement, and I feel like what they did was, because the song already kind of had like this upbeat like feeling to it, but I kind of almost feel like the original song, like you can still kind of hear like a lot of like sadness in it, if you will. So I feel like even though it had like this upbeat tone, that's why I love music that like it sounds happy, but like the subject matter is not as happy as it sounds, right? Because so I think that they did a really good job of like flipping the idea of it, like like the whole thing kind of like the way that he sung the entire thing, like it kind of almost removed the entire premise of it, unless you're like really paying attention to the lyrics. Which I think it was that very much like the original did that as well, where I feel like that's why it's such a great song, is because like the average person's not gonna think about what that song like was like the contemplation in that song, right? And at like the end when he says like I'm just wasting time, you know what I mean? I could sit here all day and talk about like just the depth, I think, of how much like this song has meant to me in my life. because I've been in those moments where like I know exactly what that feeling is of just sitting on that dock of the bay. You know what I mean? And I'm just here wasting my time now at this point. When he had his little like the extra verse one there when he was talking about like the human experience and all that kinds of stuff is really kind of what I was kind of taking away from that. One of the things that really jumped out to me that made me think about was even just some of the conversations that I've had in like my life about when you what is the point of us being here? You know what I mean? Especially those of us who like struggle with a lot mentally. And you've thought about you know, like self-transitioning. You know, and he talked about like basically being brought into an existence whether you wanted to or not. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I never asked to be here. You know what I mean? It was not my choice to exist. Why should I have to stay because what other people want me to? You know what I mean? So I'm like, I feel like I pulled a little bit out of what he was saying was a little bit of like those thoughts of like, you know, it was never my choice to be here, but for some reason I am. You know what I mean? And I feel like that entire like little concept ties to the overall premise of the sitting on the dock of the bay, where it's just that constant, I guess, like thought that some of us face of just like, what's the point? Why go through this every day? Where's the brighter tomorrow? You know what I mean? That's why, like, you know, when stuff like, I remember when Robin Williams had gone, and I remember like hearing people say like, well, why would somebody who's so old do that? I think it just makes me think about how like it's the rest of your life, man. You know what I mean? And so like, am I just wasting my time here? You know what I mean? So I feel like this song has been very important to a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. And I feel like that's the beauty of music, right? Is like, you know, I feel like I feel like I have said this the same way when it came to like what 21 Pilots made their songs about, right? Especially in the early days before they became more of like a mainstream act that way. In the beginning, it was like, if you were listening to what he was saying, he was always talking about it. You know what I mean? It's like, if you get it, you get it. And if you hear it, you hear it. You know, it's that unspoken cool kids club. You know what I mean? All right. I think that's all I got for this one, friends. I think they did a good cover. They did a damn good cover, man. I never heard Sitting on the Dock of the Bay like that before. So I feel like they did not lie in the thumbnail, and they did not lie in the title of this video. So shout out to them. Make sure you go give them some love and support. Make sure you tell them how much you loved and appreciated that cover. And I'm sure they're probably looking for other suggestions. So make sure you go leave a one on the comment form of what the next song you want to hear them do is. And I think that's all I got, friends. Appreciate Cherokee again for the request, friend. Be kind to a stranger. Tell somebody you love them. And if you haven't joined the Foxtrot family, there's always room for you.